Hello and welcome back to Creepy Cutie Crafty. Welcome back to yet another crafting video with me, Heather. Hi guys, how are we doing this week? So any long-time subscribers to the channel will recognize this. This is my birds and fishes project. Technically I did finish it a while ago, but I'm just going to revisit it for a couple of little bits today, and then hopefully at the end of this video I will be sharing a picture of the thing complete. It is quite big, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere reasonable to hang it so I can see what it looks like, but yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Heather. I'm a crafter, and I have been working on this one for a little while. This is a collaborative effort. Some of the bits and pieces from this were sent to me by Christine from Create and Craft with Christine, and they were to do with this stuff here. Now this is the stuff that started all off. This is Nana's Travelling Ric Rac. So it's a little collection of Ric Rac from Christine's grandmother that she decided to send out around the world and see what people would create with it, and I created this. Now I initially put the Ric Rac into some of the fish designs, like with this one here, which I think has worked out really well. But I thought that at the end of it, I didn't really make the Ric Rac prominent enough to me to be, you know, a celebration of it. So I asked for a little bit more, which Christine very kindly sent to me. And I've done a couple of waveforms in here. There's a couple down there that I've already done, down at the other end over there. But I'm just attaching it using my quilting thread. And I'm just doing, not even like a proper back stitch, but I'm just doing a little back stitch attachment, and just putting it in place. It's not decorative, it's more functional than decorative, and yeah. By the way, if you hear any noises in the background, it is still the Christmas holidays here, so my child and my husband are upstairs doing some printing, so you might hear the printer in a little while, but I'm sure you guys can live with that. But yes, so yeah, I thought that the Ric Rac that I'd added wasn't really prominent enough in the design for it to be a real celebration of it. But I wanted to get this done today so that I could share it with you. I was aiming to get it done before the end of the year, but if I hadn't have added these little extra bits, it would have been done. But you know me, I like to get these things finished, and I said earlier this month that I'm going to aim to get more of my projects finished, because I have so many projects I've put on the back burner, but I want to bring them up to prominence again. And yes, so yeah, I'm aiming with this one to put it onto a backing fabric, a stronger backing fabric, because some of these cottons that I made it out of, they look good, but they are a little bit thin, and so I want to sort of strengthen it up with something. But I'll probably be doing that on my sewing machine rather than by hand, because that's just going to be straight stitching rather than anything too fandangly and exciting. By the way, yes, I use words that are a bit weird. I say fandangly because that's a word that I made up, and I think it suits what I'm trying to say. But yes, by the way, Happy New Year, guys. This is my first video of 2026, and let's just hope that I remember to put 2026 at the end of the video, because I always do that to try and remember which year I made things in, and how long it took me to make them, and so on and so forth. But yeah, but also, hi to my new subscribers. I've been getting a lot more subscribers in the last week or so. So hi guys, welcome to the channel. And I hope you enjoy some of the crafty things I make. I do sort of flip between different kinds of crafts. I do quite a bit of embroidery slash quilting slash fabric work, but I also do all kinds of other bits and pieces. Quite often I do some arty things. like sculpture or possibly even painting. Haven't done much of that recently. However, I have been doing more drawing and 2D art on my shorts. So I've been doing some pattern designs for fabric and for wallpaper and things, and I'm planning to put them all onto a Spoonflower account. Again, that's under Creepy Cutie Crafty, so you can find all of my patterns on there. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I need to get some more patterns uploaded and put onto sale. But yes, I really do enjoy making patterns, but I do enjoy also, as I say, the arty crafty side of things. Yes. So with this pattern here, I'm creating it based on a famous MC Escher drawing. Now, MC Escher was the guy who did lots of sort of optical illusions and things that were, you know, sort of turning into each other, metamorphosing into each other. And one of his pieces called Sky and Water 2 has fishes, white fishes in a black sea, and then black birds against a white sky. So it's it's something that I thought was apt for the Travelling Ric Rac, because it's the idea of metamorphosis, it's the idea of migration, it's the idea of all these amazing crafters around the world collaborating on a single project and creating something that has meaning, personal meaning as well as, you know, meaning for the group as a whole. And I think it's apt, and I'm really looking forward to showing you the whole thing when it's done. There are a couple of bits and pieces I want to get completed today, but I'll take a photograph at the end and you can see how it looks anyway. I'm also continuing today with my weaving, pin weaving and yarn bag. I've got the actual bag itself constructed, but I need to make another handle for it, which means backstrap weaving. I've got a little bit behind because obviously Christmas, everything gets a little bit behind when it's Christmas, because you get so busy seeing family and cooking and, you know, playing games together and all this sort of stuff, that you get sort of tied up so that you can't get other bits and pieces done. But I really want to get back onto the weaving side of it. I made one woven backstrap strap like this. It's a lovely band, but it's got a little bit of stretch to it, but it is fairly solid. So I want to make another one of these and turn those into the handles for my pin woven bag, but I'll be getting onto that later in the episode. So yeah, make sure you watch to the end for that. I'm not doing any, as I say, I'm not doing any sort of decorative stitching here. It's literally just sort of loose back stitch. I was thinking of doing a chain stitch to make it a bit more decorative, but I didn't want to take any more away from the Ric Rac itself, because again, the Ric Rac is the center stage here. It's the thing that we're focusing on, because it's the thing that's created this collaborative effort in the first place, isn't it? But yes, so it's just tiny connecting stitches that won't take away from the overall design. But yes, so what are your plans for 2026? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you have anything exciting planned? What kind of crafting or arting or other are you going to be getting up to? Do you have any grand adventures planned? I'm really looking forward to doing a lot more weaving, and I'm also going to be showing you what I've got done with my my spinning, which I've got a little bit behind with, but I'm going to catch up with that one again. I've got my new little drop spindle that I bought from the Staffordshire Wool Gathering, and I want to get using that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that a go. I haven't yet used the wool that I made last year, and literally this time it is wool. It's alpaca wool and corridor wool and all kinds of things like that. But yes, I'm going to be having a look at where I'm going to go with that in the next few weeks, because I managed to post a video on, it was either Monday or Tuesday this week, and I'm going to be aiming to post at least 2 videos a week from now on. The way I used to do it was I would have my Friday Fabric Fumble, which would be an hour of uncut stitching and whatever from me, and then I'd also have a second video where I'd get on with another project, or something that's a bit more heavy duty, but I'd cut out all the bits where I wasn't talking. However, I find that is a bit editing heavy. It's kind of easier to watch in some ways, but at the same time it means that I have to take out a day or two to get the editing done, as well as the making and all the promotion and all the other bits and pieces. So I'm going to try and do more of the less heavily edited videos, try to get at least 2 out a week, just because I want to try and catch up with all my bits and pieces that I'm doing, and share more regularly what it is I'm getting up to, because again, I'm aware that I sort of leap from one project to the next, and you don't always get to see where they go. And again, it does mean that sometimes I put projects on the back burner, and they don't always get finished in good time, like this one. And yeah, I'm aiming, as I say, to get more and more of my half-finished projects actually finished, but also trying to make sure that I stick to my guns and get things done that I promise I'm going to get started. It's one of those things where, because I do watch a lot of other creative YouTubers, and also I do a lot of reading on the various crafts and bits and pieces that I do, I keep getting inspired, planning to make something or getting started on something, and then I see something else that gives me another little bit of inspiration, and then I go, oh, but I want to do that now, and then I forget the thing that I was previously planning to do. So I'm going to try and be a bit more organised about it, a bit more focused about what I'm aiming to do, and yeah, and also I'm going to try not to buy too many pieces of new fabric or new pieces of equipment and thread and things until I've used up what I've got, because my craft pile is beginning to get a bit overly dominant in my living room. But yes, it's going to be fun, and yeah, I'll take you guys along with me for the ride. It's always fun to find out what you guys are getting up to as well. What kind of crafting, what kind of making, what kind of arting, what kind of doodling. I'd love to hear from you. But yes, and I'm looking forward to getting things finished. I am starting to use my sewing machine a little bit more, which is, I know it's not slow stitch, but it can be part of the stitch culture, because if you're doing things that aren't decorative or aren't quite so exciting, then using a machine to get those little bits that are fiddly and annoying out of the way, rather than using slow stitching, seems to make sense to me. But everyone has their own opinions, and everybody's opinions and feelings are allowed, aren't they? At least that's what I'm saying. In the kingdom of Heather, in the kingdom of Creepy Cutie Crafty, people are allowed to have their own feelings, and everybody's different, and as long as it's not hurting anybody else, why not enjoy yourself? So I'm just going to turn this over. I'm just going to quickly, before I do that, get this oopsie-daisy stitched down on the end, just to make sure it's extra secure. And I'm just going to do a little stitch through there as well, just so that that little bit of cloth covers the end of the Ric Rac. So I'm just going to turn this over, stitch it, tie it off, and I'll be back in just a second. See you in a bit. Okay, so that's stitched down. Before I go any further, I've got this little bit of thread left on the end. I'm just going to keep that for the moment because I want to add something else in. I believe it was on one of the fish eyes or a bird eye. I need to just quickly run through and find it because there was a bird or a fish without an eye. I also need to finish doing the stitching on that bit over there, but that's okay. I can do that off screen. And now then, where's the bird without the eye? Let me see if I can find you. So we've got two birds here without eyes, and I'm just going to finish those off. And I'm just going to get, oopsie daisy, I'm going to try and get one sequin out, but you know how they are, they get very staticky. They like to go all over the place. I'm going to get one little blue sequin there, come on. Oops, my sequin picking skills are not great today. Let's see if I can get that. Come on. There we go. And where am I going to put it? So let's just get a knot in this one. I'm going to put it onto this one down here. So I'm going to carefully put the sequin over there so I don't lose it. And bring this over here. And make sure it's not folded underneath. Just do a quick double stitch. To secure it into place. And then I'm going to put it so that it's curving down. These sequins are nice and small, so they work, I think. And just oopsie daisy. Put that through there. It's got a few layers to go through, but it'll be fine. I'm going to come out the outside edge here. Like I say, it's only going to be the one sequin I'm going to add. I'm not going to add sequins all over because I don't want that to be where it goes to. And that's that one nicely in place there. There we go. I'll tie that off quickly on the back. Try not to do it outside of the thing. There we go. And that's that one done. Just there. I can get rid of that now. And I think that looks pretty good. It's not too dominant. It's just one little tiny bit of sparkle in there. And I will add an eye to this one using some paler stitches, and also I'm going to add some more to this sun just off screen, and I'll get some photographs of that at the end. But for now, let me have a look. I've got just a couple of bits of outlining to do on there. So just got one there to finish and one on the other side there. But the most important thing right now is I want to get this thing attached. Now this is the label that was sent to me from Christine from Create and Craft with Christine. I've had all kinds of nonsense with this label. I've held on to it very carefully for months and months and months. I have my little sewing kit here. I put the label there and I fold it over to keep it in place. And it was there for, 5-6 months, nice and carefully. And then someone, Squinks, came to help me put the tidy up for the Christmas decorations and stuff. And suddenly it went missing. And I'm like, oh good, where is it? I was searching all over the house, could not find it anywhere. And then suddenly, so I messaged Christine saying, could you possibly send me another label? And about 2 days ago, suddenly the label appeared out of nowhere. I have no idea where it was, and I have no idea how it came back, as if by magic, but it did. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a comedy of errors. It's life conspiring again, I suppose. Anyway, so I'm going to do this one with some dark blue thread, as you can see here. And again, I'm going to do a quick knot on the back. I know that some people do knots by winding it around the needle. I've never done that. It's just not my personal taste. So what I'm thinking of doing here is it's going to be a bit basic. It's going to be a bit down home. But I'm just going to do a running stitch around the edge. The sticker itself, well, it's not sticky. The label itself is fabric. It's printed fabric, but it's a bit stiff, which is a bit of a difficulty. But it's okay. It'll go through. I'm just a bit worried about having stitch marks, like hole marks where the pin comes out. That's why on this side I have used the pin inside the Ric Rac, so it won't show up any stitch mark holes. But yes, ow. Try and get them nice and even. My needle's a little bit big, but it's nice and sharp, so it's going through fairly easily. And there we go. Again, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to do multiple holes, because it will mark the label, which is not what I want to do. And yeah, you've got the information there about Christine's Nana's Travelling Ric Rac project. And I might put my initials underneath it as well, just so that it's clear that I made it, not Christine. Although there couldn't really be any mistake after all these videos, could there? But you know what it's like. If you put it up on the wall and people see this label, they're going to think, Christine made this. No. Christine inspired it, but I made it. Sorry, Christine. But yeah, have you guys had a go at the Nana's Travelling Ric Rac project? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so get in there. Ooh. It is a little bit stiff, but you know, I can live with that. And then turn it on the side. Like I say, I didn't want to put too many pins in it because it will mark the label, which is not what I want to do. But does mean I have to be careful because it is going to warp and get all weird if I'm not careful. And I'm going to put that one through to Daisy there. That might be a little bit close to the edge. We shall see. No, that seems okay. I was thinking of how I could do this using my little clippy clips, but I don't think I could do that because it's too far in from the edge. And I wouldn't want to go through multiple layers, but you know, I'll think about it for next time. The clips are far better for not marking the fabric that you're using, so yes. Nope, hasn't even gone through. Right, let's try and do this a bit more carefully. There we go. You can see trying to use the same holes that I already created, because if I do another hole, then there's going to be a hole in the label, which is not what I want to do at all. But yeah, so yeah, New Year's plans. Do you guys have any plans for your New Year? Have you got any New Year's resolutions? I don't make New Year's resolutions. I think you can make a resolution whatever time you fancy making a resolution, as long as you stick to it, of course. Yes, I'm continually resolving to try and do more for my channel, and also get some more cons, get some more collaborations, get some more meetups and gatherings and things, and I'm trying to get myself to more museums and other bits and pieces like that. But yeah, it's going to be a busy year, I think, all round. As I say, my subscriber count seems to have taken a bit of a jump recently, so thank you very much, guys, and hi to all the new subscribers out there, and I hope you enjoy my content. Let me know what you think down in the comments, because you know, it's always fun to join the conversation. And if you want to join the conversation here, feel free to come and find me on Facebook and Instagram, and even TikTok. Although on TikTok I don't really share my sewing videos, I'm more sharing my my shorts, my digital design shorts, because yeah, that's my preference on there. Now you can see I've got a little bit of a hole just there. I'm going to try and scrape it over, see if I can make it disappear a little bit. It's better than it was, but you know. So I'm going to use that second pinhole now to stitch through, and that way it won't be visible at all. But yeah, come and find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm Creepy Cutie Crafty on all those places. Maybe I should start doing a website as well, but I don't think I create enough yet to do a website, but we shall see. I'm very close to 1,000 followers now, which is something I never thought I'd get to, being my little tiny channel. But I am very much indulging in my crafty and my creative side much more now than I used to, and keeping this regular schedule of trying to get it done, get, you know, crafty time at least one day a week for my Friday Fabric Fumbles, has made such a difference. I think it's helped my mental health, as well as all the other ways of, you know, having fun, learning something new and creative, and getting to meet people all around the world who do the same, well, similar crafting to what I do. It's great fun. It is great fun to get to know people that way, because you do find kindred spirits that way, don't you? But yeah, and yeah, I think 2026 is going to be a busy year, but hopefully a fun year. And as people have been saying online, please can we have a nicer year than 2025? Thank you very much. It would be nice to have some calmer times, but I'm not going to jinx it. And yeah, and I hope you all guys all have a fantastic 2026 as well. Anyway, so I'm just going to pull that so it's nice and flat. Maybe let's have a look. Oh, let's pull that like that. It's a bit winky wonky, but you know, it's handmade. I like that. And yes, there we go. I was thinking of doing it as a double back stitch, but I think a single is enough. So there we go. Like I say, keep your eyes out for the end of the video. Hopefully I'll have a finishing off shot for you guys. So I'm going to pause it there, and I'm going to set up for the next bit because I want to get back to doing some more weaving. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye. Okay, so I'm back, and yep, I'm working on the second strap here. You can see how much I've done of it so far. Before I go any further with it, I mean, you can just do a quick comparison with my previous one. This one is a lot tighter than that one. You can see there. They're both pretty strong, but I'd say this one was a bit stronger. But yeah, it's the same as everything, isn't it? The more you work at it, the better you're going to get. But it's, again, a back strap. I've got my food clip here, but there is a better way of doing it, which I'm going to try and sort out for the next time I do this. But for the moment, this food clip is working, and here's the loop that's going around my tummy here, and that's holding it in place, and that's pulling on the tension. And I've got my little rigid heddle here that I got from the Wonky Weaver at the Staffordshire Wool Gathering, and it's same as any weaving project. So yeah, got the rigid heddle. It's got the long bars for the strands that are going to go up and down, and this one is held tight so it can go up and down, and that basically means it comes together. Now again, this is quite a fluffy yarn, so it does catch on itself a little bit, but it's working out okay. My first time doing this, and next time I think I'm going to use a less fluffy yarn, a less floofy. Is it worsted on or unworsted? I can never remember the difference between the two, but I'm sure I'll check back my details and I'll find that out again for you for next time. But yeah, and you can see it's narrow enough that I can get my fingers in there, and I've just got myself a little wooden shuttle here, and I'm using that to press as I go. And again, I've seen some very pretty shuttles, and I've seen some very pretty heddles, sort of handmade out of wood and all this sort of stuff, but I can't afford those at the moment, and I want to get better at the process anyway. The one thing I did have a bit of difficulty with was getting the yarn through these little tiny holes. They are very, very small, so I used a needle threader, but it's not going to be ideal if you've got stronger wool or thicker wool, because it'll just break the needle threader and it won't pull it through. But again, I am very much a learner at this particular task, and I'll be getting better at it and getting more equipment or whatever if I do more in the future, which I think I will do, because I'm actually really enjoying it. And I'm using a different coloured wool on the top here, and the purple on the bottom, and you can see how that's made this lovely stripy pattern. It's the wools on the heddle that you'll see making the pattern. This wool here is basically so far underneath, you'll get a little tiny bit on the edge, but other than that, you're not going to see much of this wool, because, or this yarn, because it's caught underneath the warp. So this is the warp and this is the weft. That thing I can remember. And the warp is the one that's tight, and the weft is the one that moves. So yeah, and you can see using my finger to tamp it down as well, and it's looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to having a go at something like this with the yarn that I've been spinning. I'm also going to have a go at doing a larger pin loom weaving as well, but I think that's going to be in a few weeks time, because I've got to start on my next embroidery project, which is going to be going back to my gold work project, and that's something I'm very much looking forward to starting sometime in the next week or two. So yay, and see if I can remember the process, remember how to do it at all. Now there's a knot in that piece of yarn there, so I'm just going to pull it tight around it, and we're going to have a little bit of visible stitching, but yeah, other than that it's fine. And again, tamping it down. So I'm not going to be just doing this now. Just going to do a little bit so that you can see how the process works. And you can't see it at the moment, but I'll give you a quick look in a second. You're going to have to forgive all my messy living room, because that's where I'm working. But I'll show you how it's tied to the chair in a moment. Bear with me 1 second. Let's just get this in there nice and tight. You don't want to pull this too tight. Don't do it until after you've got the wool in place, because it can make the ends a bit kind of rocked up, sort of, you know, twisted at the end. It makes it sort of curve in at the end, which is not what you want to do. You want to have it nice and even. And if you do, I keep forgetting to put the shuttle through. I've done that a few times. It's not a biggie, but it is a bit of a pain in the bum having to do the same thing twice. But again, I am talking at the same time as working, so you're gonna have to forgive a few little tiny mistakes. Anyway, that's just working through there, and yep, try not to get it too tight. I find it when I'm doing that, I'm using this to pull the thread through. I find it easier to do it whilst my finger is in place between the two threads. I don't know why. Maybe it's a technique that people use, maybe it's not, maybe it's just something that's particular to me, but it's something that I found works for me. But yes, I just find it a bit easier. But yes, I'm thinking that these two bands, these two cords, are going to be strong enough to lift my pin woven yarn bag, but we shall see. There we go. You see, see it's pulling over the previous line, which is not what you want it to do. So I'm going to put that one down through there, and then give it a tidy up like that. But yes, it's getting there. It is definitely getting there. I'm thinking maybe of getting several of these and binding them together to make a fabric of some description, or making a scarf of some description, but I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one, I think. But I do like this. I do like this process. It's it is very hands-on, which for me is just about perfect, because I like to get my hands into a project, as you guys know. And I'm looking forward to adding these to the pin woven bag next week, but we shall see. We shall see how that goes. Yes, it's getting late on New Year's Day here, and obviously having stayed up late last night to watch the fireworks and to count in the air, means I'm a little bit tired this morning, this afternoon rather. So I'm losing my thread of what I'm saying, but such is life. But yeah, I'm also thinking about whether or not to do a collaborative project later on in the year. I know that there's quite a few people who like to put out collaborative ideas. I know that Christine from Create and Craft with Christine has one at the moment, as well as, you know, quite a few other guys. They ask for like bits of fabric, or they do exchanges and swaps. I've never really done that type of thing because I'm always so busy getting caught up in whatever project I'm doing right now. But I do enjoy doing collaborations. I really did enjoy doing the Birds and Fishes project, the Nana's Travelling Ric Rac projects, because it's a challenge to work with something that somebody else has preferred to you. So maybe I'll do that sometime later in the year. But I am also looking at other bits and pieces that I want to do as well this year. So things like going to conventions, going to meetups, maybe doing a class of some description. I know I said I was going to do this last year, but I promise at some point I will do it. It all depends on time, money, and energy. Because we've got an awful lot going on this year, as I say. So Squinks is going to be doing their GCSEs, and they're going to be starting their A-levels hopefully in September. And we're finally going to be sorting out our trip to London, which is going to be sometime in June, I believe, after their exams are over. But we shall see. It's going to be fun. And I'm finally going to get to go to Liberties, which is the thing that I've been wanting to do for the last year, because I was going to do it for my 50th birthday last year, but for various reasons wasn't able to. But we shall see what happens. Right, so that's got to that end there. I'm just going to tamp that down. You can see how quickly this grows with a little bit of effort, but what I've been doing is unhooking that, unclipping, moving it along, and then just, oops daisy, where's my band gone? It's all around my tummy. There we go, just putting that, nope, not like that, hold on, like that. And then just continuing. But there we go. So I'm going to take that tension off there a little bit because I don't want to damage it. Excuse me a second. Oops, daisy. Take my band off first. And whilst it's there, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing with the other ends. You can see where I've woven in the ends there, and this is at the other end here. Now this had these two lolly sticks to hold them apart, so what I'm been doing is just pulling these bits down a little bit. I'm not going to try and unknot all of this because it's just going to be a bit of a nightmare, but we'll see how we go. Can I unknot it? Are my fingernails strong enough? That's the question. And that one I'm just going to snip because that's high enough up for me to do that. And do the same on that side. There we go. And I'll put those pieces of wool in my aught jar, and then I'm separating out 4 of the strands there. Try and get them to lay down quite nicely. Oops. Got all 4 of them there. Do I have all 4 of them? I do. Then push that knot all the way down to the bottom, just there. and then do the same on the other side and work from the outside edge into the middle. So that's 4 there. Make sure it's pulled nice and firmly. And of course, if I wanted to, I could just weave these back into the actual main body of the band, but this is just sort of a holding point so that I can decide what I'm going to do with it next. I know that you can get these little twisty things to twist the ends and make them twist into themselves, which is also valid, also a nice way of doing it, but I don't have a twisty thing. It's like a little thick machine that you hold on to the end and you just twist it around. And that helps to keep it locked in place. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4 there. And doing another quick knot there. I mean, I'm definitely going to be going back to the Creative Craft Show this year, but I'm also definitely wanting to go back to the Staffordshire Wool Gathering, because I did find that a lot of fun. And thinking what other yarn or embroidery events I can go to. I know there's the Knit and Stitch show here in the UK, in various places. I haven't been to that one yet, and it looks like a very interesting one actually, but depends on time, depends on money, same as ever. One day I'll change the record, and I won't be saying time and money, but for the now, that's how it is. But yes. I'm also thinking about, with my birds and fishes thing, my one big problem with it is that it is so very, very long, and I'm going to have to think about where to display it, because I do want to display it, because I've spent so much time and effort on it, but I don't have much wall space in my house, because my house is teeny tiny. It is. I'm currently sitting on the sofa. I'm currently sitting in my living room, which is also my dining room, and also my craft room. And there's not much space in here. We've got a very small sofa, a 2-seater sofa, and 2 chairs in here. But beyond that, if you added anything else into this room, it would probably explode, because it is so teeny tiny. Right, there's 3 there, and hold on, let's see if we can do a proper count here. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then there's, oops, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 and a couple there. So I'm going to make this one a little bit thicker, just because I want to. So, oopsie daisy. Let's do that again. Is that one from down? It is from down there. I've lost my space. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. There we go. I mean, I could stitch this back through using my needle and thread, but I just wanted to create these tassels instead, because I felt like it. It's a design choice, and it's a design choice that I'm making. And then we've got, oopsie-daisy, see if I can get that one through there. There's one hiding behind. They do like to stick to each other, so it's kind of felty. So they try to stick together, don't they? See if we've got any caught up there. Nope, that's fine. And how many have we got left? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do 4 there, and 3 for the final one in the middle. Please excuse the hilarity. Squinks is on a phone call with their friend, and they're obviously making rude jokes. They do tend to try to be adult in some ways in their language, which sometimes comes off as a little bit naive. It's the way that all kids were, isn't it? It's like everybody at that age thinks that using naughty words makes them grown up, but it definitely doesn't. It's when you start using the other words with those words and using them in proper sentences, and then writing books, and then all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I may be talking nonsense again. I don't know. Anyway, you can see that's all come together, and you can see all the colours of the yarn in it, which I think looks pretty good. Got a bit of a bubble there, and this is where the yarn was woven in, but such is life. But I think that's looking pretty good. I think they're both looking good, but I think this is definitely a lot tighter. It may be because I use different kinds of wool though. This one's got a little bit of stretch to it, as you can see there, and this one, almost no stretch to it at all. So I think this is going to be quite a good shoulder strap. Anyway, I'm going to continue with this a little bit more. Now, what was the last one I did? That's that one. Push that one up, and then push me shuttle through, and then that's it. And I will continue with this off screen, and I'll put some photos at the end along with my finished, hopefully, birds and fishes project, and I will call it a day, I think. So I think I've got about an hour's worth of video there, and it's been good to fit it in amongst all the madness that's going on here, because it's that time of year where suddenly you realise all the projects that you want to get done in the next year, and you want to get the room tidy, and you want to go and do this and do that and do the other, but at the same time you've got to get the stuff that you need to get the stuff done. If I can actually speak, that would be great. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day there, and I will say Happy New Year again. Let me know what you think of these attempts at weaving and my birds and fishes. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. What do you think I should have a go with next? Do you think I should try doing like a patterned weave? Because I think that's going to be the next thing I'm going to have a go at. Anyway, whilst you're down there in the comments, please remember to like and subscribe and all those lovely little things that help a tiny channel like mine to grow. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much again for watching, and bye bye.